Mayor, commissioners, and people here, thanks for having us. Unlike Grant and Becky, I am not a politician. I've never run for office. I never will run for office, okay, particularly on some of the things I've seen going around all these city commissions. To be quite honest, I applaud you for having the courage to step up. But I am starting to learn the way politics works and how people spin different things. So I'd just like to make a comment on a few of the things they talked about. First of all, Becky alluded to, and Grant a little bit, that our campaign is being run and financed by special interests. Now, I know for a fact, first of all, that I have donated more to the campaign than any business in our community, and I'm trying to figure out what the heck my special interest is. I'm not going to make any money off of it. I'm not using this as a stepping stone to any position. My special interest is the same as a lot of people. My special interest is in the quality of our schools in Seminole County. A couple of other things, and these kind of things I understand, as Grant was talking about how politics works, and he certainly knows, he's a politician, has been. Becky has run for office, okay? $100 million tax increase. Well, yes, we could generate, if we raise the taxes by $1 million up to $25 million a year for the public schools. You take that by 4 years, you call it a $100 million tax increase, and everybody goes, wow, I understand that. But I would just say to you in here, regardless of which side you're on this, if you have a $50,000 a year job and you work it for 4 years, you don't have a $200,000 job. You got a $50,000 job. So spin it any way you want. This isn't a $100 million tax increase. Okay, the last thing before I get into some more points on our education system. A lot has been made of 40% of the school board voted against it. Okay, that's 2 out of 5. And let me point out on that, one of them we voted out. Okay, so why am I involved in this? Well, besides the fact that the Orlando Magic gave me a lot of free time. Okay, besides that, I have kids in the school system, and I think, regardless of my own kids, that there is nothing more important to the vitality and the prosperity of our community than our schools. Now, Grant and I could argue all day in sort of a chicken or the egg argument. So Grant's argument is, as he just stated, the way to do this is to keep the taxes low, raise the tax base, then the schools can grow. I'd go just the other way. We need to start by educating the people in our community to drive the economy. To me, my opinion is this, and always has been. Most of the problems that we look at, locally or in this country, a big part of it is education. So if we look at business climate in the community, and I know we've seen a lot of things that are short-term answers. The long-term answer is this. If we have a better educated workforce, more businesses come to our county. We have to take care of that in the schools. Why would you move to a county if you're a business if you have a poorly educated workforce? Okay, second thing is, for our economy, all right? If we have better educated people, more highly skilled workers because of our tremendous vocational programs, career programs we have in schools, then those people have a chance to attain a higher standard of living, which gives them the disposable income to spend on our goods and services. If those people can't reach that standard of living, and your idea is continue to decline our level of education and give them less a chance to pull themselves up, I don't know how our businesses prosper. We all know, from study after study, I don't think anybody in here, okay, even our biggest opponent, would argue with the research that a better educated community is a safer community. All right? There have been studies all along. Ask any of our law enforcement people. Go into the jails, talk to the prison population, see how highly educated they are. Okay? See how highly educated those people are. And for all of these reasons, quality schools attract families to our communities, and despite what was said, They do not only stabilize, but over the long haul, raise our property values. Okay? 3 cities in Seminole in recent years were ranked by national magazines, by national publications, among the top 100 places to live in the United States. In all 3 of those studies, education was cited as the primary reason for the ranking. You look at the city of Oviedo here in the county, the one city in our county where property values are up across the city. I don't think it's a coincidence that all of their schools, all of them, are A-rated schools. All right? So, if our schools are doing so well, and they are, our seniors last year from our public high schools earned over $45 million in college scholarships. Our vocational and career programs are among the most extensive in the entire country. We have career programs unique to every high school in the district, just for the kids who are zoned for those high schools. We have magnet programs in engineering, in information technology, and in Health Academy, as well as the IB program, that are available across the district for every student that they can be bused into. On top of that, we have an extensive list of career programs that are available in conjunction with Seminole State College that, if we pass the millage, we can continue to bus our kids to, okay, to train for highly skilled jobs. The reason we need this referendum, despite the quality of the schools, is this. We've already cut $73 million from the budget over the last 5 years. There are only 5 school districts in the entire state of Florida that spend less money per student than we do in Seminole County. 5. Okay? Over the last 5 years, we are now spending $900 less per student. Okay? Per student. Some of the things that were brought up actually are our arguments. So Becky brings up the point that we actually have 500 more teachers. Now she knows why that is. Because we have a class size mandate. That is an unfunded mandate from the state that has put further stress on our budgets. The other unfunded mandate we have that's going to come up now and is going to be really, really troubling for our schools is we're switching over now to a lot of end-of-course testing. That's all supposed to be done, according to the state, by computer. We simply right now don't have enough computer technology to take care of that. And to try to keep up with the testing requirements, those computers at the schools, and it was said tonight over in Winter Springs, go check the testing schedule. Those computers have to be in use for testing virtually around the clock at school. What's left for our students in terms of learning with the technology? When are they supposed to get time on the computer? The bottom line is there is nowhere else to cut. Becky talked about administrative positions. We have half of the state average in administrative positions here in Seminole County. I don't know how much lower that you want to go. Our opponents say that there's no proof that spending more money means a better education. Now, first of all, I'm going to disagree. I must have read the wrong article. Yes, Orange County passed a millage and a sales tax. Yes, our test scores are still higher, but their test scores have improved, number one. Okay? So that wasn't true. Second, in other debates I've had with them, they will cite other districts to prove, like Washington, D.C. spends more money than we do, but we're better. First of all, those are irrelevant questions. Absolutely irrelevant. Here's the question. What is it that we need as a school system to provide a high-quality, state-of-the-art, 21st century education? What do we need to do that? And then what do we need to do financially to be able to provide those things for our students? I don't know about you. I'm not interested in our kids getting a bare bones education that does not prepare them for the demands of the 21st century. Here's how the millage increase would be used. And they have talked about this to school district. Now, why can you not get a specific list? A couple of reasons. First, We don't know where the economy's going before 2013, all right? And we don't know yet what the school board will do in terms of how much the millage is raised. So we don't know exactly what the budget will be. But the school board has said this. First of all, that we will use the money to upgrade computer technology required for a quality 21st century education, in addition to complying with all the state mandates. Right now, we do not have the resources to do that, all right? We will be able to preserve and expand elective courses like foreign languages, important today's global economy. Now, at one meeting lately, Grant Malloy sort of mocked the need for something like Mandarin Chinese, comparing it to adding a banjo class, okay? I would say that regardless, there's a big difference between Mandarin Chinese in our world and a banjo class, okay? Okay. Okay, very good. We will preserve our vocational and career programs that train highly skilled workers for high-paying jobs, specifically, busing kids, being able to get kids to Seminole State College for those career and vocational programs, all right? Doesn't do us much good if we have the program, if kids can't get there to take advantage of them, all right? We will be able to hopefully retain more highly qualified teachers and provide them with support, as simple as restoring severe budget cuts in things like school supplies. Lake Mary High School, 27 English teachers, total supply budget, $1,400. Teachers already working without a raise, having to reach into their pocket to pay for school supplies. Not fair, not great for morale, and certainly not great for our students not being able to get supplies. That's something that we can take care of. We can maintain and repair school facilities. We have an air conditioning system that district-wide needs to be replaced. We're going to get done with the Freon and replace it with, I have no idea with what comes next after. We got an air conditioning guy in here. What's next? Well, we've got to, what's that?
R22.
R22?
Huron.
I'll go with that, John. I have absolutely no idea. But I'll go with it, okay? And we've got leaking roofs. These things need to be repaired. And then also expanding a very vital pre-K program. These are things that are vital to a quality 21st century education, and the only way we can provide these for our students is with this millage increase. Now, what will it cost? Okay? I don't think that anybody's trying to sneak anything past anybody. Okay? $1 million, which, look, we don't know where the school board's going to go on that. I'm just being honest. This is me, personally. This isn't my political action committee or the school board or anything else. I'm saying if you walk into that voting booth, I'm telling you, so Grant can rest easy, all right? I'm telling you, figure it's going to be $1 million. I mean, that's what I would do. If somebody tells me it's up to $1 million, I'm going to figure it's going to be $1 million. I might hope it's going to be lower, but if I'm trying to plan my budget, that's what I'm going to do, okay? This is how it's figured. You know, Grant said we're pulling a bait and switch. All we're simply doing is saying the average property in Seminole County, unless somebody in the property appraiser's office is giving me bad information, is $130,000. You get a $25,000 homestead exemption. That's $105,000. $1 million increase. That's $105 a year. Now, unless I'm wrong, okay, I got a quality public education in California, but a quality public education, that's a little less than $90 a month. And it's about 30 cents a day. That's how that adds up. Yes, that's not taking into effect when he's asking, well, where does the extra money come from? Yeah, there's businesses with properties and things of different value. We're talking about the average homeowner. That's where that comes from. I know, just like Grant said, I know there's people in our county that are struggling. I understand that. I would say this to you. The last thing a family struggling needs to worry about is that the quality of their kids' education is going to be affected because they're struggling a little bit. Regardless of whether they're struggling, their kids deserve the same high-quality education that any of us can give ours if we want to take them to private schools or anywhere else. Okay? There is one part of the American dream that has been common for generations, and that is that we want to pass on to our kids the opportunity for a better life than what we have had. That was what my parents said to me, what their parents said to them. That's been passed down. If we will not invest in a high-quality education system, that is the impossible dream. Okay? Furthermore, everybody talks about, and I'm trying to be as fair about it as we can, and I'll end up with this. Everybody talks about what are the costs of the millage increase, and we just talked about that. But how about this? What are the costs of not passing the millage increase and watching our education system decline? What are the costs of that? And let's not pretend that there are no costs. We will not be able to do the things we talked about, okay, on that list if we do not pass the millage increase. What are the costs of that? Okay? People not prepared for a 21st century workplace, all right, will have a lower standard of living, less disposable income to spend on goods and services in our community. A less educated community will discourage businesses from coming here into our county, and if that happens, what happens to our highly educated, highly skilled workers? They're supposed to go somewhere else to get a job. And finally, and this should be very important, I think, to everyone in here, especially those who are really opposed to what they call welfare programs and everything else. Higher unemployment, more minimum wage workers, a higher crime rate will cost us more in terms of public assistance and services than this millage increase will. Not passing this millage increase is simply short-term thinking. So the question is, I think, do we want to invest now in high-quality public education and give every kid in our community the chance for a great education? Or do we want to pay for the consequences of cleaning up the mess if we don't do it? Thank you very much.
Ordinarily during presentations, I do ask the commission if you might have had any questions for either speaker. And I don't see that you might have.
Just a comment both sides for putting together really presentations.
Yes, and now I'm going to take the opportunity to ask for forgiveness that at the beginning of this meeting, I should have recognized other electeds here this evening. And if you would please allow me, I would like to acknowledge that you're here with us tonight and appreciate your presence in the room, especially for this very important topic. Tina Calderon, Chair for Seminole County School Board, please stand up. Member, please stand up. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you both parties for coming. Thank you for your presentation. We have no comments at this point to share with you, but what I would like to share with the audience is that immediately following this presentation is citizen comments, and that's where we are now. And it is the opportunity for any of you here to address the commission on anything that's not on tonight's